I ended up feeling numb, empty. I didn't have any expression in my eyes. That was the moment I knew that I'm in a pretty bad spot. I had to do it. I need the money. I need to survive.
The least I can do is provide for both of us. If she had to find a job, she would not be able to make it.
This is Christiana. Much like a quarter of Greece's young people, she is unemployed. And that's despite the fact that she went to university. In this video, she explains how she has worked herself into the ground even though she is just 24, and what role the 2009 financial crisis has played. She also explains why she and many other young Greeks see no option other than leaving the country.
This is the area I was working in a retail store. My boss was never satisfied with anything. I lost my appetite. I lost actually quite a few kilos. Another job I did around here was in a marketing company where I was like door to door selling internet packages. It was kind of more stressful because in the villages they do not have many spots to take a moment and cool down from the heat. So I was afraid that I would pass out and maybe someone wouldn't find me on time.
Chris lives in central Thessaloniki with her girlfriend, Nikki. Chris has been unemployed for 3 months now, so is mostly alone at home. Her partner works in a board game shop. For Chris and Nikki to be living by themselves in their mid-20s is unusual in Greece. On average, young people move out of their parents' place when they are 31. But for Chris, it was clear that she didn't want to be a financial burden on her parents.
As a kid, I actually had a very fun and happy childhood. When the economical crisis came in around 2009 to 2011, it really hit us hard. I can remember my parents preparing food for us, like good food that we like or that is nutrition. And I remember my mom or my dad eating bread, yogurt and water for lunch, just so we can have something better to eat.
The crisis she's referring to is the Greek government debt crisis. In 2009, Athens revealed it had accumulated billions in debt, which it was unable to pay back. EU member states, the International Monetary Fund, and rescue aid packages provided billions of euros. In return, they demanded drastic austerity measures, with the population still suffering from the consequences. Pensions, salaries, and unemployment benefits were all slashed. Although the crisis was officially over in 2018, Greece has not yet fully recovered. The pandemic and the war in Ukraine have only weakened the economy further. Around 1 in 4 Greeks works in tourism. It's one of the most important sectors in the country, meaning it's a secure option for the country's young people. Chris was already thinking about this when she studied in Athens to work in the hospitality industry. But already during one of her first assignments, she realized just how harsh the reality of the industry's working conditions are.
While I was working at Mykonos as a runner and an assistant waiter, I started having a lot of nightmares. I mean, stuff like fighting with co-workers or getting fired or another person stealing my tips or something like that, because that was happening as well. I was just being like a robot, like get up, put on autopilot and just work in the morning for 8 hours, then have a break 3 hours and then go back to work for extra 4 to 5 hours at night. That was very hectic. I was very irritated. I had 2 weeks left and I just wanted to quit because I just couldn't take it anymore.
But Chris didn't quit. She needed the money and didn't want to disappoint her parents. A year later, having gone through nightmares and 12-hour workdays, she was in a 5-star hotel in Athens, working 40 hours a week and earning 840 euros net per month. She also got paid overtime and tips. Having to cover the rent of 450 euros by herself back when she was living alone, Chris desperately needed the money.
I ended up feeling numb, empty. I didn't have any expression in my eyes. I was just feeling like a living ghost. That was the moment I knew that I'm in a pretty bad spot, because I'm actually a very cheerful and ambitious person. Thank goodness I had Nikki as well to help me out and give me that small push I needed to grab myself up again from the shoulders and find the solution in the end.
Chris had had enough and quit. In a matter of days, she left her job and moved to Thessaloniki with Nikki. She gave up hotel-based jobs and decided to try out some new things, such as tech support, live streaming, marketing, and retail. Sometimes the pressure was too much. Sometimes she wouldn't be paid enough, and other times she was simply treated badly. At the beginning of 2024, Chris was completely exhausted and realized she simply could not continue like this. In the long run, she wants to get out of Greece and go abroad with her girlfriend Nikki to work as a programmer. She wants a job that pays well and promises a good work-life balance. To help achieve her goal, she's currently doing a free online course. Greece's government has different plans to Chris. In July 2024, it introduced a 6-day week with salary supplements and a maximum of 48 hours per week. The point of this is to combat the lack of skilled workers. Greeks already work the most in the EU, averaging 39.8 hours a week. Critics are worried that recruiters could demand workers work 6 days a week now. Chris doesn't make any money from the course, so her girlfriend Nikki is currently paying for everything. That doesn't just put pressure on her bank account, but also on the couple's relationship.
With 2 wages, maybe we will be able to leave the survival mode and give ourselves some extra break. Like we will start dating, doing some small dates again.
Today, like every day, Nikki gets home from work around 7 p.m. A new bill has arrived. They've gone to a park to discuss how to afford the rest of the month.
The payment is overdue.
It's almost 30 for internet, and we have also 60 for the electric bill. Also, we have to note down the supermarkets. So how much is it weekly?
It's around 80 to 100.
And we do buy cigarettes also. We do have to provide some things to family.
At the end of the month, nothing remains of the 700 euros Nikki earns. This is despite the fact that they are not paying rent, since the apartment in Thessaloniki is owned by Nikki's family. They don't have another option, as the average rent in Thessaloniki is about 500 euros.
And usually when it comes around the end of the month, we are struggling. We really are.
Yeah, usually that's where things get tough.
So I would have to pressure Chris to find a job to support the housing as well. And she would not be able to focus on her seminars. The least I can do is provide for both of us while she tries to do that. If she had to find a job, she would not be able to make it. And I wouldn't want that.
No.
Chris and Nikki's situation is similar to that of many young people. Surveys show that Greeks are the most stressed people in the EU. For this couple, that means only one thing: leaving.
We want to go to Switzerland. We heard that the law is quite fair there. The workers' rights are exactly what it needs to be done, or to be. The payment is good. I know it's a high-cost life, but they actually balance it out. Yeah. I believe there are better opportunities than Greece. I'll see you later.
As Nikki has to get up again early in the morning, Chris goes for another stroll. The chat also had them thinking and worrying about their future. The dream of emigrating is not unique to Chris and Nikki. 77% of 17 to 24-year-olds say they would leave the country for better work conditions. Hundreds of thousands have already done this following the crisis years.
I want to stay away from Greece forever, only like for holidays or to see my parents and visit them. I'm gonna miss the hospitality of the people as well from Greece. It really comes natural. They're very generous and open and very welcome. I'm fighting for tranquility and actually being mentally okay.
Chris knows that emigrating would not be easy. The last time she was outside Greece's borders, she was a small child, but she is prepared to give up her life here in pursuit of her dream, in the hope of really living, not just existing in survival mode.